Hey guys, back with a 2.5 week update for the newly set up again fish tank. It's doing really well, and everything is really popping with the lighting now. Now that it's stabilized and it's not in a big old 100-gallon stock tank, everything's really open. Everything is really enjoying it in here. This actually was underneath one of the rocks in the stock tank, and so I'm surprised it's actually coming back. My Cyphastria is looking decent for being covered up for a month and a half. And then this guy has a little bit of a split there, you can kind of barely see, and that will spit off eventually to something like one of these there in the background. And I have a couple more in the sump that I really need to do something with, otherwise they're going to die because the lighting in the sump is not the best. The new digitata looks really good. Orange polyps, really looking good. If these fish will just stay out of the way there. Blue polyp digitata is actually coming back into color as well, and so everything's really happy the way it is. Sinularis look great. And then this guy, this toadstool up here looks really good, even though he's probably getting 200 par, right under the lights there, close to the surface. That's just where that rock fit, and he kind of was stuck on the rock from a couple of years ago, so I've just left him. But he's doing fine. Algae's looking good. There's some hair algae coming in, and then it looks like the Hepatis tang is taking care of that really well. The Blenny is also working on it. But the Blenny is a lot smaller. He doesn't eat near as much as this Hepatis tang, and he'll do a good job in there. All the other fish are happy. I did get a cleaner wrasse the other day, and he's doing fine. He's eating really well. So things are really happy. Things are really consistent. And one thing that I've learned in the past 12 years is that these reef tanks really require a lot of consistency and stability. Which is what this tank didn't really have over the past year and a half. So in March 2022, I moved from Ohio. This was actually a 90-gallon aquarium, and I downsized to a 65-gallon when I moved up to Michigan. And then from March 22 to July 22, we moved again, and then we moved a third time in September 2023 this year. And then this was downstairs for a month or a month and a half. I moved this up on October 9th, I think. So this thing is hopefully going to be settled in for good. I'm never moving it again. And things are really looking well. And so that's probably the biggest part of my success is the stability I've had over the past 12 years. Back in 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, I had the best looking tank I've ever had, probably actually from 2018 to 2022. SPS all over the place. I had vivid coloration. I had basically a mixed tank, a bunch of LPS, SPS, Trachophilia that was just, my favorite coral. And then this clam's always done well. He's slowed down on the growth there for a while because I wasn't doing the water changes like I was supposed to, and especially over the past year. But he's actually put on 1 millimeter of growth underneath his mantle. I wonder if you can kind of see. So that's all new deposit there, right around there, and eventually he'll get some new shoots, or little scoots, I think is what they're called up here. These are actually, it looks like they put on about 2 millimeters of growth since I moved. Since my water basically was brand new when I moved here in September. And then October when I moved up here, it's basically had 100% water change over the past month and a half or so. And believe it or not, I don't know if you can appreciate that top line. If I can just point at it without getting in the way. This top line there is all new growth from just this past month to month and a half. So he's really happy with the levels and stuff like that I have in here. I like to keep my calcium at 4:15, 4:30. And I think this thing just vacuums it out of the water really fast. So this clam's really nice, but he requires a lot of calcium for his shell. And then the alkalinity I like to keep at least 9 DKH. But recently I tested these the past couple of days in the row, and this reef tank right now is sitting at about 7 alkalinity and 397 calcium. Actually, it was 397 today, 398 yesterday, so it's dropping about 1 point per day. And then the alkalinity was 7 yesterday, 6.9 today. So I'm going to have to throw some baking soda or something in here to kind of get it up temporarily. But I did a lot of wire management, cord management down in the sump. I built a little stand for all my stuff. And then all the wires are back here with all the, boxes and stuff like that. This here is temporary. Eventually I want to get something without this stinking post. It's in the way. Kind of takes too much space up. I almost need like a big metal, box or something like that without that side on it, so I have a lot more space to move around. But I was running B-Ionic back in 2018 through 2022, and this tank was looking really good. I didn't really set it up to dose when I reset the tank in March last year, and I really think that it would have done a lot better with these things dosing. So I just got them plugged in today. These are other Kamoers. These are the X1 Pro 2 or something like that. Don't quote me on it, but I really liked these, and these were really nice. And that's one of the other reasons that I decided to get the X2SR, because I liked the Kamoer products that I already had. And the app is good when you have the 2.4 gigahertz band router, dedicated band router. But I think once these start, or once I get these set up, I'll start dosing it. I'll have to take some measurements to dose without the water changes, so I'll have to shut those off temporarily, or maybe just do them like once every couple of days, just one time to get it over with. But that's come here in the next week or so. I threw this box together for probably like $30, something like that, just for the wood. And then the time, it took me probably about an hour. It's not like refined or anything like that, but I just cut holes so all of these wires could pass through, and then everything's hiding back behind here. And then when it comes out, there were a couple of holes down there on that side. It's like a ported box, just coming out for my wire management. It looks a lot better. There's still kind of a rat's nest look, but it's 90% better than it was, that's for sure. So with those, I'll definitely be able to get my calcium and alkalinity more stable, and I'll definitely do better with that for sure. When I moved, due to the lack of stability, I lost most of my SPSs. Probably, actually, honestly, 90% of my SPSs were gone. And then I lost basically all of my fun LPSs. That was a big rock that was really good, really pretty for a while. One of the brain corals. This guy, this guy is my Passalipora, is basically dead up top from the move, but he was the only thing that survived from 2022. It looks like there's that's way too zoomed in. There's a couple spots on him that look like they're still alive, and in the center there's a little bit of live tissue. That's doing fine. And you can see that my Monopora digitata, the blue one, had a lot of dieback there. When I moved down to the basement, there was an algae. I had an overgrowth of algae because of the nutrient swings with the move and all the live rock and stuff like that. Lost a lot of him. I just got this one the other day, the orange one. He's looking pretty darn good. He's actually putting some tissue on there at the end. You can see the white knuckle. It's brand new tissue that keeps growing. So once I get even more stable, or once I keep doing what I'm doing, this thing's going to look nicer and nicer. Hopefully that hair algae, again, doesn't get any worse. Since I did set up the new tank, you always get kind of new tank syndrome anytime you mess with the nitrifying bacteria or anything like that. You have die off. And when I put this aquascape together, I basically had all of this rock out of the water. I took it up from downstairs. I broke up some of the really big chunks into more manageable sizes. I epoxied a lot of it, so I kind of took my time with it, and that might have killed some bacteria off, but I just put some bacteria starter in there, and it's really doing fine. I don't know if you saw that Chiatomorpha ball that I got down here as well. I'm hoping that that's also going to help combat the hair algae up top, so I won't have a big old hair algae outbreak. It's kind of looking like it's might be staved off for now, but I guess we'll see with another update. And all the fish are saying hi to you because they're really happy now. I think these water changes with the X2SR are doing their thing. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you next time, and stay tuned for a short update.